Hi everybody, welcome to our 1.5 lecture video on rounding and estimating. So the first thing, of course, is how do you round things? So it's really a two-step process. The first thing you're just going to do is think about what place value you're rounding to and locate the digit to the right of that place value that you're rounding to. Okay. Once you find that place value, if it's 5 or greater, you're going to round up. And what that means is that that place value goes up by 1. Okay. If that digit is less than 5, you round down. And what that means is that the place value is actually going to stay the same. So your number is between the lower one and the higher one, and so you're just thinking which one is it closer to. And so this one, when you round down, your place value stays the same. Okay. So let's practice doing some rounding. So round each value to the given place value. So I have 10,374. We're going to round that to the nearest 10. So my tens place is right here. It's where the 7 is. So to the right of it is a 4. 4 is less than 5. So we're going to round down. So rounding down, we're still going to have a 10,000. We're still going to have a 370. But then the 4 is going to round down to a 0. Okay, so the 7 stays the same since it rounds down, and the 4 goes, it'll always go to a 0 at the end, okay? So really what you're thinking is 74 is between 70 and 80. Which one's it closer to? It's closer to 70, so it rounds down to 70, okay? Next up, I have 573,417,984. We are rounding that to the nearest thousand. So the thousands place is actually another 7, coincidentally. It's right here. And so to the right of it is a 9. So that 9 is greater than 5, so we're going to round up. So when we round up, the 7 goes up 1, and it'll go up to an 8. So we still have a 573 million. We're still going to have the 4 and the 1. But 7 is going to round up to an 8. Everything afterwards will become zeros because we've rounded now. Last one I have here is negative 7. Is that trillion? 543,219. Oh, I was right. Sorry. So this is ones, 10 ones, thousands, millions, that's billions. So it's negative 7 billion. 543,219,033. So we're rounding to the nearest billion, and that is, yet again, a 7. So after the 7 is a 5. The 5 means that it's going to round up. So then that 7 will become an 8 again. Even though it's negative, the sign doesn't change the numbers at all. Okay? It just changes if it's positive or negative. So that'll become negative 8 billion. Okay. The next thing we're going to look at is front-end rounding. And so in front-end rounding, each number is rounded as much as possible. Right. So all of the digits are going to become 0, except the front one. So the digit with the highest place value. So that's the front digit. Okay. Or when I think about this, it's just the front digit. And we're going to use front-end rounding a lot for estimating, just to kind of get a general idea of where we are. Okay. So let's try some front-end rounding. So in front-end rounding, you're rounding that front digit. So in this case, it's a 7. So we have 783,927. You're rounding that very first digit. Okay? So the next digit over is an 8. 8 is bigger than 5. We're going to round up. So when we round up, the 7 will become an 8. That'll round up to 800,000. Okay. In part B, we've got 42,593,293. We're going to round the very front digit, which is a 4. Okay, so the digit to the right of it is a 2. 2 is less than 5, so we're going to round down. So that 4 will stay the same, and everything else becomes zeros, so we'll have 40 million there. Okay. So that's what front-end rounding looks like, is you're rounding that very front digit each time. But otherwise, the rounding rules all apply. Alright, in example 3, so this is where we get to really big numbers with adding and subtracting. It's going to say, go ahead and use front-end rounding just to estimate the answer. And then we're going to find the exact answer. Okay? So if I want to do the front-end rounding, I'm going to round the 19,489 first. So I'll round my 1. The digit to the right of it is a 9. It's going to round up. So that rounds up to 20,000. My 3,118, you're still rounding that first digit, which is the 3. The next digit over is a 1. It's going to round down. So that'll round to 3,000. So now I have 20,000 minus 3,000, which is going to equal 17,000. So that just gives me a general idea of where my answer is going to be. Next, we're going to find the exact answer. So I'm actually going to work through it. And I'm going to have 19,489 minus 3,118. You'll notice that I lined everything up so that the place values are lined up. I didn't put the 3 under the 1. I put the 3 under the 9 because they're both in the thousands place. Okay? And then we're ready to do some subtracting. 9 minus 8 is 1. 8 minus 1 is 7. 4 minus 1 is 3. Comma stays in the same place. 9 minus 3 is 6, and 1 minus nothing is 1. So our exact answer is 16,371, which is pretty close to 17,000. Not exactly right, the same, but it's quite close. Okay. I'm going to let you guys try the next one. So in part B, I want you just to take a minute and see if you can do the front end rounding and give me an estimated answer. So go ahead and pause your video. Do your front end rounding, and I'll tell you that answer. 3, 2, 1. Alright, the first one rounds to 7 billion. The second number rounds up to 5 billion, or 5 million. 7 million plus 5 million gives you 12 million. So that should be your estimated answer. Okay. Next up, see if you can do your adding. So pause your video again, give me an exact answer, and work through your addition. And I will show you the answer in 3, 2, 1. Alright, your exact answer should be 11,944,376. Hope that went all right for you guys. If you have questions, of course, always reach out to me. Okay. The next thing we're going to do is a little bit of word problems. So in example 4, it says, at a local college, 7,842 students live in dormitories. 3,498 students live in sorority or fraternity housing, and 9,361 students live in off-campus housing. So in part A, it says use front-end rounding to estimate how many students at this college live in dormitories or off-campus housing. So let's look up that information first. So in dormitories, would be these 7,842 students. And the off-campus housing would be over here, it'd be the 9,361 students. So if we're wondering how many students live in one or the other, we're going to add those together. And it says use front-end rounding to estimate our answer. So we're doing this problem, and then we're estimating our answer using front-end rounding. So 7,842 is going to round to 8,000. 9,361 rounds down to 9,000. And 8,000 plus 9,000 gives you 17,000 as an estimated answer. In part B, it says to find the exact number of students who live in dormitories or off-campus housing at this college. So we're going to find the exact number with that addition. So we're going to do 7,842 plus 9,361 and add those together. 2 plus 1 is 3. 4 plus 6 is 10. So we're going to have a 0 here and carry the 1. 1 plus 8 is 9, and 9 plus 3 is 12. So 2 goes down and 1 gets carried. 1 plus 9 is 10, and 10 plus 7 is 17. So my exact answer is 17,203. So you'll notice the estimate is pretty close. Gives you a good idea of where you're going to be, and the exact answer gives you the exact amount. Alright. In part C, it says use front-end rounding to estimate how many more students live off-campus than sororities, fraternities. Okay, so off-campus housing was the 9,361. The sororities, fraternities, there were 3,498 students who lived in a sorority or a fraternity. And asked how many more students live there. So we're not adding these together, we're wondering the difference between the two, which means you're subtracting. So really the problem we have is 9,361 minus 3,498. In part C it says to use front-end rounding to estimate that. So we're going to use our front-end rounding at this point. 9,361 rounds down to 9,000. 3,498 also rounds down to 3,000. 9,000 minus 3,000 gives you 6,000. So the difference is approximately 6,000. In part D, find the exact number of how many more students live off campus than in sororities, fraternities. So we're going to do that subtraction all the way through. So now I've got 9,361 minus 3,498, and we're going to do our subtraction. I can't take 8 from 1, so I need to borrow. So the 6 in the 10's place becomes a 5, and the 1 in the 1's place becomes 11, because it's 10 more than it used to be. 11 minus 8 is 3. I can't take 9 from 5, so I need to borrow again. So now the 3 in the hundreds place is going to be a 2. I'm going to take one of those away and add it over here. So now I have 15 minus 9 is 6. I need to borrow again because I can't take 4 from 2. So now my 9 has become an 8, and the 2 becomes a 12. 12 minus 4 is 8, and 8 minus 3 is 5. So the exact number for the difference between how many are living off campus than in sororities or fraternities would be 5,863. Hopefully that helps you guys do lots of practice. You guys can do this. If you have any questions along the way, don't hesitate to reach out to me, and good luck today.